Right then, welcome back to the channel. This is a preview for Manchester United against Granada, Europa League quarter-finals. We have got one foot in the semi-final. Don't fuck this up. In we go. Happy days. United get another semi-final and another opportunity to disappoint ourselves as we don't manage to make a final. I feel different about this one. Roma and Ajax, potential opponents. I think they represent a pretty tough opportunity, but certainly one that we can get by, even if it'll be a little bit more of a tricky proposition than what I expect this second leg of the quarter-final to be. United come into this in some pretty decent form. We've got 3 wins in our last 3. 3-1 against Tottenham, 2-0 against Granada, 2-1 against Brighton. Obviously, we got through Real Sociedad and AC Milan in the last 2 rounds. Granada's form's not so good. Lost 3-0 to Villarreal, lost 2-0 to United, but they did pick up a win at the weekend against Valladolid in La Liga 2-1. And they've come through after beating Molde and Napoli. After 2-0 at home and losing 2-1 away in both legs. Diego Martinez is starting 11. Then we did get a little bit of a glimpse of what to expect. And I'm not going to say, oh, it was right, because this is how they play. And we knew how they would play, and I think we know how they're going to approach this one as well. Roy Silva will be in goal, and Granada have had a couple of big boosts for their defensive capabilities, at least, as both first-choice fullbacks are back from injury, which was something that affected them last week. Sanchez is likely to be partnered with Vallejo at centre-half after Domingos Duarte was injured in the first leg. I think Gonalons and Yangel Herrera will also be the midfield two that sit just in front of that defence. Montero's probably going to be the attacking midfielder, or the number 10, with Kennedy and Puertas on the wings. And I do think it'll be Soldado that leads the line for them again. But Molina could replace him after scoring on his start at the weekend. Now, Angel Montero, with Granada expected to come to Old Trafford and actually go for it and push, I think Montero's going to be the guy that they look to even more. I think he's going to be one that's really important for everything that they're trying to do. And if he's given time and space on the ball, he is going to be able to feed Granada's attacking players. And I think they've got to come into this with nothing to lose. If they can come, score the first goal, they really start to put United on the back foot there. They really start to make a tie out of this. If United score within the first 10-15 minutes, it's going to look like a training session for the remainder of the game. If Granada score early, now you've got a game. And it'll be a nervy game. United either need to then push on and score, or we need to make sure we're defensively solid and don't score or concede another one. So it's going to be a tricky ask if they score first, but that could lead into our hands. And when I talk about how I expect United to approach this, we'll go into a little bit more detail on that one. But I think United proved in the first leg that we can deal with the limited threats that Granada are going to throw at us. Montero's likely to be the one that we need to look out for, but I don't think there's anything for United to necessarily be really afraid of when it comes to Granada. Starting 11-wise then, I'm going to go with a quite rotated side. Obviously, we've got McTominay short and Maguire suspended for this one, so there's some forced rotation, but I think there should also be some sensible rotation in there too. And I would go as follows. Big Dave in net, Williams and Tellez as my fullbacks, with Lindelof and Axel making up the 2 centre-halves. I'm going Matic alongside Pogba, with Juan Mata in the number 10 position. We ain't seen Juan Mata for a little bit. I don't think he's injured, so I don't see why he couldn't feature in this. James on the right, Amad on the left, or vice versa, because I know some people get really arsey about that. I don't think it matters in a grand scheme of things. I think both can play off the left and off the right. And as we've seen them this season, that's where those players have really featured, with Mason Greenwood leading the line. Now, how we hit these guys and how we beat them is with pace on the counter. So this is why I've picked this 11 with that in mind. I've also picked it with Leeds and Liverpool coming up, with the sheer weight of games that has been played by some of the players in our team, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes especially, and Maguire, but he's not playing anyway. And I've gone for pace on the counter. United are still probably going to end up holding a lot of possession because Granada, weirdly, aren't great in possession. But what I do want to see from United in this game is we don't need to go out and score. If the game ends 0-0, we're through. If the game ends up 1-0, we're still through. United don't need to force this. And sometimes United are better when we play on the counter. And I think United could really conserve some energy and invite Granada onto us, because we know that that back line isn't blessed with pace, and we know that our forward line is. And this might be the most baited sort of system that we could play. We know we can score on the counter. We know they're vulnerable on the counter. We know they need to push forward in numbers to overcome us, score some goals, and try and get through in this tie. So I think we go, cool. Sit back. Don't force it. Sit back. Let them have the ball. Don't press them. Let them have the ball, fall into a medium or a low block, and when we win possession, find someone like a Juan Mata, find someone like a Paul Pogba with the ball at their feet, and have Mason, Amad, and James just scattered to the four corners of the earth. Get into space and see if we can get the ball to them. And I think if we do that, I think we're going to be extremely effective. And if we do that, I think we're going to score through one of those occasions. And I don't think playing on the counter is a bad thing. The tie's almost done. Don't concede, and it's definitely done. But if you can hit them, if they can come over the top and you can hit them on the counter, I think we'll absolutely open them up. And that's what I'd like to see from United in this game. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, all that good stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.